Thank you, moderator. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Ana Number metric D2020109225. Today, I will talk about capitalism. What is capitalism of anthropology? Capitalism of anthropology are for the purpose of clarity, which is capitalism is best defined as an economic system based on private ownership of the means of production, and in which goods and services are freely exchanged through market mechanism. What is the etymology capitalism? During the period, the terms of capitalism is originating from the Latin word which is capitalis, the means of head of the term, was first used by French socialist Louis Blanc in 1850 to signify a system of exclusive ownership of industrial means of production by private individuals rather than share ownership. Next, the best definition of capitalism that I can find is from Max Weber. Defines capitalism as the most powerful power in our modern life. The second is from Karl Marx. Defines capitalism as a socio-economic system based especially on private ownership of the means of production and the exploitation of the labor force. Next is, who are the prominent scholars in the capitalism? The prominent scholar in the capitalism is Karl Marx. A critique of the result of capitalism was formulated by Karl Marx. According to Karl Marx, the treatment of labor as a commodity lead to people valuing things more in terms of their price rather than their usefulness, and seeing commodity represent, and hence to an expression of the system of commodities. Next is, how does rents contribute to the capitalism? In addition to promoting tourism, traditional can be an effective tool to encouraging the development of local or regional economy. Logically, the more visitors or tourists visit a region to enjoy its traditional dance, the more income people can get. For example, from tickets, hotel, and consumption accumulated to improve the economy. How does capitalism? How does capitalism operate in our economic system and society today? Capitalism is often thought of as an economic system in which private actors own and control property in accordance with their interests and demand, and supply freely set price in the market and in a way that can benefit society. An important feature of capitalism is the motive for making a profit. The conclusion from capitalism is, since the emergence of capitalism, the capitalist mode of production has through different stages of development. There have been phases of economic crisis that necessitated the introduction of different economic policy prioritizing the sustainability of capital accumulation. That's all from me.
Thank you, Anna. So we will move to question season. Alright, hello, good morning,
Hi
Anna.
Anna. Ah, okay, Revin dulu.
Right, so okay, my question is, can you tell us who is the father of capitalism again?
The father of capitalism is Adam Smith. Adam Smith is called the father of economics because of his theory on capitalism and free markets and supply and demand. Next question.
Okay, next question is, what is capitalism in culture study?
Thank you, Madi, for the question. The what is the capitalism in culture study is the culture of capitalism or capitalist culture is the set of social practice, social norms, value, and patterns of behavior that are attributed to the capitalist economic system in a capitalist society. Next question.
Hi Anna, my question is, how is capitalism beneficial to society?
Uh, Thank you for the question, Priscilla. How the capitalism beneficial to society? The capitalism is the great economy system because it has numerous benefits and create multiply opportunities for individual in society. Some of these benefits include producing wealth, and innovation to improving the life of individual and giving power of the people. Any question?
Hi Anna.
Yes, Audrey.
Um, what are the five modes of productions?
Thank you for the question. The five modes of production is refer to the theory in which human history is divided into the five progressive stages of primitive society, slave society, feudal society, and capitalist society, and socialist society.
Okay, let's move to another presenter, FERRA Lenny Robert.
Thank you, moderator. Good afternoon to Sarzan and friends. I am Farah Lenny Robert, and I will going to share about evolution and evolutionism. So, First of all, what is evolution and evolutionism? Evolution is general graduation directional change, especially one leading to a more advanced or complex form, growth, and development. And as for evolutionism, it is related to term of evolution, which is any of several theories that explain the evolution of systems or organisms. Now let's look into Darwin's theory of evolution. Um, Charles Darwin is the most influential scientist and intellectual in history. His theory is one of the most solid theories in science, and he had published a book with the title on one of the most solid theories in science in 1859. So Charles Darwin explained that he claims that evolution was produced by natural selection, which is a process by which individuals that are better adapted to the environment are more likely to survive and reproduce successfully. So Charles Darwin explained how evolution works. In nature, there is struggle for survival in which the strongest individual is not necessarily the survivor. Instead, it's the one which best adapts to the environment where it lives. If a living being has any traits that helps them to survive, it will be more successful at reproduction, and those which don't adapt will die without descendant. The creatures with the most success in reproducing pass their traits to their lineage and so on until these variations end up becoming a new species. So, in example, is the Galapagos tortoise, which those who live in a drier environment with long necks could reach the bushes easily in order to get food, and those live in humid environment with a shorter neck and dome-shaped shell could eat grass and protect themselves from predators. So this is Alfred Russel Wallace, which is an admirer and naturalist, reached the same conclusion as in which evolution is produced by natural selection. And natural selection is what I have explained previously. So, social evolution of anthropology theory was proposed in 19th century and sometimes referred to as unilineal evolution, which is the first theory developed for anthropology. Uh, this, iter- this theory developed according to one universal, which exposed why there were different types of society existing in the world. They are the sociologist and the most notable of the 19th century social evolutionists. This is the Edward Bernard Taylor, Lewis Henry Morgan, Herbert Spencer is the socialist. Um, So they collected data from missionaries and traders and organized second-hand data and applied regional theory they developed to all societies. Social evolutionists identified universal evolutionary stages to classify societies as in state of savagery, barbarism, and civilization. Morgan subdivided savagery and barbarism into subcategories, which is low, middle, and high. The stages were based primarily on technological characteristics, but include other things such as political organization, marriage, family, and religion. Since Western societies had the most advanced technology, they put those societies at the highest rank of civilization. Societies at a stage of savagery or barbarism were viewed as inherently inferior to civilized society. Spencer's theory of social evolution, uh, which is often referred to as social Darwinism, but which he called synthetic philosophy, proposed that what promoted evolution, stating that those societies that conducted more warfare with most adults. He also coined the phrase survival of the fittest and advocated for allowing societies to compete, thereby allowing the most fit in societies to survive. So these two are the main assumptions embedded in social evolution, which is like,
Excuse me, Vera.
yeah,
Your 5 minutes presentation is already finished. Can you conclude your topic?
okay, thank you. Okay, give me another 1 minute. First is the psychic unity, which suggests human minds share similar characteristics all over the world, and the second one is Western superiority, which is deeply rooted in European colonialism and based on the fact that Western societies had more technologically sophisticated technology and a belief that Christianity is the true religion. So this is the 19th century evolutionists, which they um, learned that systematic methods for thinking about and explaining human societies, and they rely on Marxist views of human development, and they claim that they claim that they think it is like a speculative and ethnocentric. That is all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Farah, for the presentation. So we will move to question 6.
Hi, Ferrari, Robert. My name is Robert Armadi. I have question for you. Your topic is about evolution and evolution, right? My question is, who was the first evolutionist? That's all.
Thank you, Armadi, for the question. Uh, the first evolutionist is Charles Darwin, the founder of the modern theory of evolution, the son and grandson of physician, and he enrolled as a medical student at the University of Edinburgh.
Hi, Stella. Next question is, can you tell us what is evolution by natural selection?
Thank you, Anna, for the question. Okay, evolution by natural selection is a process by which individuals that are better adapted to their environment are more likely to survive and reproduce successfully.
What about dance? Does dance evolve? You were talking about all this
Yes.
natural selection lah, all this human evolution lah, biological evolution in humans or perhaps creatures and all. Does dance evolve? If so, give one example.
Mm, yes. Example is um, there is a link to imitation, and it is connected to the brain cell, which um, they imitate like animals, animals movement, and now
Sebelum sebelum
they
kau, kalau aku tengah tidur, lepas tu meninggal. Meninggal secara automatik ketika tidur. How do we came about the terminology that we know of modern dance? How do we get into that? What is dance before modern dance? And then after modern dance, you have postmodern dance. And then later on, we have contemporary dance. What was before? Hmm. Tengoklah. You all dance student. Belajar dance history dengan siapa? Eh? Dance history dengan siapa?
Traditional dance.
Oh, traditional dance pula. Pening, pening, pening. Pergi baca dance history balik. Saya penat nak explain. Saya explain benda yang kau tak boleh dapat dekat internet. Uh, there is one uh, there is one good findings on an evolution of dance that is already happening in Indonesia, which is on Minangkabau dance. Eh, Minangkabau dance, as we know, you all know about Randai dance, you all know about Piring dance, you all know about what else? Perhaps Tari Pasambahan, the opening dance of the Minangkabau people. But the Minangkabau dance overall actually have evolved from what we know as Pencak. And then from Pencak, it evolved into Pamenan. Pamenan is equivalent to our Malay word permainan. And then later on, it evolved as Tari. So from Pencak to Pamenan and then to Tari. So from there we know that dance does not came about suddenly as a dance. It in origin was the Pencak in Indonesia, but we also have that situation in Malaysia. It's only that we don't have enough dance researcher to research on dance evolution in Malaysia. But um, for dance around the world, if you are not familiar with dance history, the modern dance, postmodern, and then contemporary dance, you are doomed, and you all better die lah. I cannot explain everything in class, you know. You all have learned. Siapa ajar kau dance history? Dia ajar kau joget gamelan ke? Never mind lah. Carry on. Next presenter. Penat aku. Korang punya soalan canggih-canggih.
Okay, sir. Okay, let's thank you, Farah, for the presentation. Let's move to another presenter, REVIN ERYS Anak Pauline. Let's welcome.
Hello, can you guys hear my voice clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Okay, good afternoon and good day to Sir Hafzan and my fellow friends. My name is Revin Eris Anapolin with metric numbers D202010922227. For today's presentation, I will talk about the colonialism in anthropology. Alright, first I will talk about what is anthropology. Anthropology was come from Greek word which is anthropos, means of human.
You are
Logos,
wasting time. Don't talk
yes,
about
please.
anthropology. Talk about colonialism. You only have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. What is colonialism? Colonialism is a practice of domination that involves of one people to another. Colonialism also one of the most widely explored and written about subjects in the history and anthropology. Colonialism also dominance of a strong nation over another weaker and acquisition of the colonialists by brute force to extra markets, extra resources of raw material and manpower from colonies. Next, I will talk about how colonialism related to anthropology. Anthropology emerged from the colonial expansion of Europe. Colonialism structured the relationship between anthropologists and the people they studied and had an effect on methodological, on conceptual formulations in the discipline. For example, the role of objective outsider, with its resultant professional exploitations of subject matter, can be viewed as an academic manifestation of colonialism. Some of the bias inherent in this role are examined. With the liberation of formerly colonized peoples, the traditional role of the anthropologist has been undermined. This has resulted in an impasse between anthropologists and many of the people they formerly studies. So, as a conclusion, colonialism in anthropology is important for us to study because it can teach us how to recognize something before we investigate it. Not only not only that, even in the colonialism also taught us about to provide ourselves with critical tools both to understand and respond to some of the pressing political and economic questions of the world. And this is my references, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Ravi. So we will move to question season.
Hello, Revin. My question is, what do you know more beside your own point about the colonialism in anthropology?
All right. Thank you, Edna, for the question. Um, for for my opinion about the colonialism in anthropology, it's all about the colonialism is they taught us to explore the perniagaan to the other world, which means in dance we also can explore the dance to the world like with selling a ticket on our dance performance like pentas or red star.
Apa kau cakap ni? Aku tak faham. Apa kau cakap ni? Explain balik bahasa
So,
Melayu.
okay, bagi pendapat saya, kolonialisme ni merupakan satu empire untuk kita kongsikan sesuatu perniagaan tu kepada negara luar ataupun orang lain. Dan kalau dalam
Perniagaan.
harian pula,
Perniagaan pula. Kau baca tak colonialism atau apa? Colonial. Malaysia has been colonized several times. Siapakah yang pernah menjajah Malaysia?
British.
Lagi.
Dan Jepun.
Berapa hari lah, tak apa. Lagi.
Belanda.
Kau tak tahu kau duduk dekat Sarawak, kau tahu JWW Birds. Komunis. Komunis dia tak dapat berkuasa sangat lah. Okey. Aduh, you all. Apa kaitannya pula dengan perniagaan untuk ni? Colonialism is a domination of one party over another. You colonize and you control. You impart your system to the colonized, to the colony. So you, as a British, you came to Tanah Melayu, you control the people, you get the minerals, you get the money from them, and then you get out. That's colony. That's colonization. British lah. And I would like to know from your presentation if you have any example from all around the world, any example that can explain how dance is changing because of colonization. How dance can change because of colonization means before the colonizer came, Dance is like that, no changes. Suddenly, colonizer came, they invade, they attack, uh, people suffer, and then the dance changed. And maybe the dance died. And then several years later, the dance revived and it may have changed. Give one example. That is why you learn these theories. Bukan kau nak bagi contoh apa benda resta pentas sejadah. Ni aku malas ni. Ha. Cepat. Nak pergi markah punya presentation ni. Tak ada contoh.
Uh,
Hmm? Ada contoh.
Kalau seni kutau,
Kenapa dengan kuntau?
Kuntau tu dia macam pencak.
Tahu. Kenapa dengan kuntau? Kau
Kalau
sembang kuntau
sekarang
macam kau pandai sangat ni. Ha, cepat. Apa? Kenapa? Beritahu cepat.
kalau kuntau sekarang mereka telah performkan kuntau tu di dalam pentas. Kalau pada zaman dahulu kuntau tu dia hanya dipersembahkan semasa
Was
di
it
rumah
because
raja.
of the colonization? The changes to kuntau from village performance or village practice into theatrical ataupun stage performance. Was it because colonization or was it because modernization or globalization? Apa benda? Colonization means orang luar datang, serang tempat engkau, jadi kuntau tu berubah. Kuntau pergi perform dekat tempat orang putih tu pula. Just like Christianity came to your place. Suddenly, Iban dance is performed in church as part of the church rituals. Betul ke aku cakap ni? Aku bukan Kristian. Kau yang Kristian, beritahu aku lah. Selain daripada tarian lain lah. Colonization can happen in the form of in many forms, not just from attack and invasion. Can also comes in the form of political domination, in the form of religious domination. Orang Islam kat Malaysia ni, lagi kalau kena serang dengan apa ni Israel, semua kena masuk Jewish, agama Jew, agama Yahudi, no, semua kena masuk. Habis dah, tarian-tarian Islam semua habis, tukar dah jadi Yahudi dah, tarian Islam. Pun boleh juga. If we happen to be attacked by Israels. Faham ke tidak kau ni? Masuk kelas tambahan lah, kita buat tuition nak tuition. Pening aku. Next presenter, stress. But if you like to read more, which I doubt, you can search on one interesting dance in New Zealand, which the dance has changed because of Western invasion ataupun British domination over them. So you cari kat New Zealand tarian apa yang paling glamour dekat New Zealand tu, you go find and search what are the dances in New Zealand and what is the dance that changes because of the invasion from other cultures. Takut nak cakap luar-luar sampai ke luar negara, sampai ke New Zealand, sampai ke Hawaii, sampai ke Japan. Takut dekat dalam Malaysia pun tak faham. Dekat gamilan first time dengar macam mana. Next presenter. Mana dah kita moderator dah hilang, tenggelam dia.
Okay. Thank you, Revin, for the presentation. So we will move to another presenter. which is SYAHREIN bin Muhammad Hamdi. Let's work.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon and good afternoon to Sahabzan and everyone. My topic is cosmology, and my content first is the meaning of the cosmology, the history of the cosmology, and the correlation between cosmology and the anthropology. We go to the meaning. Cosmology is a branch of astronomy that treats the universe as a unified whole and the various parts of the universe studied through astronomical observation as part of the whole. For religious study, cosmology is about a testicle created world ruled by supernatural force. But for the scientists, modern cosmology is about developing the most complete and economical as possible understanding of the universe that is consistent with observation indicated by natural force. In modern astronomy, the leading cosmology is still the Big Bang theory, which claims that the universe began with huge explosion that sent matter and energy spreading out in all directions. There is a movie that can be watched that depict the universe, that is the Star Trek movie, and one of the reason why fans watch the Star Trek movie is for the various cosmologies depict in the show, including the different concept of space, time, and the meaning of life. There are several theories that can be discussed to the further strengthen this cosmology. There are three cosmology theory, that is modern cosmological theory, steady state theory, and the Big Bang theory. First is the modern cosmological theory. Present model of the universe hold to fundamental premises, which is the cosmological principle and the dominant role of gravitation. Derived by Hubble, the cosmological principle hold that if a large enough sample of galaxy in the consider, the universe look the same from all position and in all direction in space. The second point is of agreement is that gravitation, which mean the most important force in shaping the universe. According to Einstein, general theory of relativity, which is a geometric interpretation of gravitation, matter produce the gravitational effect by actually distorting the space about it. The curvature of space described by a form of non-Euclidean. Next is the steady state theory. First, the theory implies that the universe has always expanded with no beginning or end at a
Stop,
uniform
stop,
rate,
stop.
and that
Next slide.
uh, okay,
Next,
Big Bang.
next, 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 next. Hmm. Kau present semula next next class.
Okay, sir.
Ambil ni dalam chat. Religious cosmology. Because when you read something, you I can see your effort in trying to relate the concept that you have with anthropology. But when you read on something, you have to identify lah which one is the suitable part to be presented in class. That is why I give you only 5 minutes, because there are a lot of things in one concept or one theory. We cannot explain everything in class, so you have to choose carefully which part to explain in the class, which in this context, cosmology focus on religious cosmology because it is more related to our class, our discussion on anthropology. That's about it. Bukan Big Bang Theory. Bukannya. Macam tu. Faham? Boleh? Saya present semula.
Boleh, sir.
Okay, next presenter.
Okay, next presenter. We'll move to Madrigal Sagario. Let's welcome.
Macam tu rambut kau nak present dalam kelas aku, Matt. Kau tahu tak aku mengajar kat Suara, presentation online semua pakai cantik-cantik. Makeup, rambut kemas belah tepi, perempuan semua rambut semua. Macam tu pergi buat rebonding, pergi straighten rambut, pergi iron rambut dia awal pagi. Pakai cantik-cantik, wangi yang aku tak dapat bau. Kau punya pakaian nak presentation dalam kelas aku. Insya-Allah. Apa nak jadi? Bukanlah pakaian tu melambangkan apa benda, tapi your presentation dalam kelas. Presentation means you are not just presenting your ideas, you are presenting yourself to the others. Bukannya oral presentation, voice dia kita dengar. Macam tu kita nak tengok muka kau sekali, your confidence level, you how you articulate. Dia articulate bahasa Melayu, how you articulate your ideas, how you interject your concept with other kinds of examples, for example. Tak apalah, aku dah serenda. Bahasa orang Ipoh, serenda. Carry on.
Okay, sir. Okay. Good afternoon, Sir Hamzat and my fellow friend. In our class today at AD3043 Dance Anthropology, I will present about the cultural studies. Okay. Before that, I will present myself. My name is MADREGAL and HELEN SINGOK. My matrix numbers is D202010922229. Okay. Before that, I will explain what I got about the cultural studies is related to our surrounding, which is everyday life, is story, gender, politics, knowledge, race, ethnic, technology, and environment, and so on. Okay. Next. Okay, what is cultural studies? Cultural studies is an interdisciplinary field drawing on theories and practice formed from a range of humanities and social science disciplines that seek to investigate the way in which culture produces and are produced. Okay, is it important? Okay, is it culture studies important to us, to our environment, our society? The culture studies major help you understand the complexity of everyday life and the way that habit, text, object, and the belief are socially patterned and laden with a value and a meaning. It will provide you with a range of tools to analyze how culture practice and meanings are produced to circulate and exchange. Okay, next is culture studies. It's divided to 2 points. First is humanities, and second is social science. Okay, this 2 point is related to the history of the culture studies. Was borrowed by the theories and the methodologies from this kind of point, like literary studies, sociology, anthropology, philosophy, psychoanalysis, history, geography, and science. This kind of thing is create culture studies. Everything is really related to the culture studies. Okay, there have a principle of cultures. Okay, first point is about reality. The biggest point is about reality. It's a social construction. Okay, I read first. Okay, second is identity. It's a social construction. Third, belief are based on the perception of the reality. Society is marked by a struggling of power. Cultural code create identities for the creator and the receiver. Okay, let me explain it more about this. The reality about culture, as we can see in this our world, they have a lot of culture. Culture is not only stick to the one point. Okay, it's really big one. Okay, reality like our race, our ethnic, technology, knowledge, politics is reality. What we can see, what we know, what is real in our life right now. Okay. Second is identity. Identity, I can relate it to our race. there have a lot of identity in our world, especially in Malaysia, that have Indian, Chinese, Malay, and so on. Okay, they have their own identity, so other people out there will know who they are. Okay, you are Malay, you are Indian, you are Chinese. Okay, like that. Okay. Third is belief. Belief is same with their identity. In every identity, they have their own belief. Okay, like Indian, they have their own God, like that, and then Malay, they have their own belief. Like Christian, they have their own belief. All right. So the fourth is society. Society is about our surrounding. It's real right now in our life. We will face it. Okay, the point in our society is struggling of power. They have a lot. I mean, style life in our daily, in our career, in our studies. They have powers. I mean, they have a level. Like Sir Hamzan is our lecturer, and our is Sir Hamzan Sir, like that. We have a uh, yeah, that struggle of power. Okay, the last one is cultural code. It means we have our rule on rule. In Malaysia, we have our rule that we must have to follow, and that rule was be created by someone who have a big power, like our yeah, kerajaan government. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for listening. Okay, if you guys have any questions, just ask me.
Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
presentation, Matt. So we move to the question session. Any question from Madrigal?
Tapi dah tak ada soalan. Semua dah beku.
Can I ask question?
Yes, of course.
Uh, its cultural studies can be related or being used to art performing.
Okay, it's really genius question for me. Um, mm, uh, pardon? Can you repeat the question?
My question is the cultural study can be related or being used to art performing? Thank you.
Can be used to art performing. Okay. Uh, yes, I think yes, because it's all about art knowledge. Because people can use the uh, environment, the culture that they study in to be used in any performance. Okay, I give example. Uh, okay, what happened to this word? Like history. Okay, it people can be perform the history in performing arts. Okay, like drama, dance drama. They can create the dance drama based on the real history. So the history cannot be forget by people, uh, generation by generation until now. So I think that my question. Okay, I give another example. Okay. Uh, um, okay. For example, there have so many ethnic in our in Malaysia. So people can use that kind of ethnic, the identity of the ethnic to be performed. Yeah, like uh, Indian, they have their own identity, so we can create a dance to make their identity being seen by people out there. Uh, I think so. Okay. Do you have other question?
Okay. If if anyone
Hello, I can hear you.
Helen?
I can hear.
Oh, dengar Kak?
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Matt, for the presentation. So let's
So,
move to our last presenter for today, which is Wilson Ita Anak James.
okay, thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Okay, my name is Wasentana James. This is our topic is about essentialism. Okay, firstly I want to introduce what is essentialism. Essentialism is that things have a set of characteristics which make them what they are, and that the task of science and philosophy is their discovery and expression. The doctrine that is in pride to extend. Okay, the second is the view that all children should be taught on traditional lines. The idea and method degrade as instilled to the prevalent culture. Okay, the second slide is about William Begley. Firstly, I want to introduce who William Begley. William Begley is a professor of education at Teacher College at Columbia University, 1917 until 1940. William Begley is commonly referred to as the founder of instrumentalist educational theory. Begley was born in Detroit, Michigan, and after his family relocated to the East Coast and attended elementary school in White Mountains, Massachusetts. Okay, William Begley introduced the philosophy of instrumentalism in education in the 1930s. He was an American philosopher. Instrumentalism is an American philosophy of education which began in the 1930 and 1940. The two origin of instrumentalism is from idealism and realism. Okay, next, this our concept of instellism. Instellism in ontology, the view that some properties of object are instilled to them. The instinct of thing is conveyed as the totality of its instilled of properties. The theory of instellism differ with respect to their conception of what it means to say that a property is instilled to an object. Okay, this is our purpose of schooling. First, prepare students to be productive, contributing member of society. For instillalis, the aim of education is to teach the young the instills they need to live well in the modern world. Instinctialists tries to instill a student with the most basic knowledge, skill, and character development. Instinctialists believe that student should be taught to be a model citizen. Instinctialists believe that teachers should teach traditional moral value and virtues. This is our five curriculum of instinctialism. Firstly, mathematics, second, natural science, history, organ language, and literature. This curriculum a strong emphasis on basic skill in elementary school and one discipline knowledge and scholastic achievement in secondary school. There should be a common or core curriculum that is taught to all students. Essentialists believe that the core knowledge could change insteadism in the education system. For the student to acquire basic knowledge, skill, and values to
Your the 5 minutes presentation is already over. Please conclude your topic.
Tak payah conclude lah. Tak payah conclude. Mana kau boleh present pasal essentialism in education system pula. Dalam bahasa kampung aku kan. What is this? Orang kampung aku cakap. Apa ni reason? Astagfirullahaladzim. Untuk agama aku cakap. Astagfirullahaladzim. Jadi orang kampung aku cakap. Orang kampung aku cakap what the fuck? Kalau agama aku cakap astagfirullahaladzim. Okey, listen. Dalam satu ayat ringkas, terangkan essentialism.
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 Okey, terangkan.
Essentialism ini adalah satu
satu benda, satu orang, satu binatang, satu maklumat, satu pandangan, satu dunia, satu neraka, satu syurga, satu cinta, dua jiwa. Benda, cepatlah. Tunggu kau. Sakit perut aku. Satu apa? Aku dah bagi jawapan, tinggal pilih saja. Satu apa?
Satu jiwa.
Sakit jiwa. Essentialism adalah tentang satu pandangan bahawa something or anything must have an attributes, must have attributes. Anything, apa-apa saja mesti ada attributes. Attribute ni apa bahasa attribute? Bukan ciri-ciri macam ciri-ciri lah. Attributes that connected to it ataupun bukan connected, that is apparent ataupun that is obvious, that is apa. Let's say for example, I give you one photo of a lady that is black. Kau tengok gambar perempuan hitam tersebut, kulitnya hitam, kau pun cakap, oh ini mesti African ataupun African American woman. So there is some sort of essentialism because you identify what is woman as an identity. Identitinya, gender identity is women ataupun female, because you identify long hair, mungkin face features, mungkin apa-apa, ada breast and what not, and then you identify that photo ataupun that lady in that photo as from Africa ataupun American ataupun African American, because she is black and black refers to people who lives in Africa, for example. Itu essentialism because you have sets, you punya pandangan, you have sets of attributes. that you connect to what you see. Aku tengok kau, aku kata kau lelaki. Aku tengok siapa Anastasia, aku kata dia perempuan. Itu pasal gender identity lah, not about something else. Aku tengok video apa kelepak-kelepuk raya tu, aku kata pondan yang menari. Sebab aku tengok gaya dia menari macam pondan. Ha. So what are the attributes of pondan according to me? According to you? Maybe you assume ataupun you decide ataupun your views is that those dancers from five or six dancers in that music video, three of them are pondan, the rest are not pondan. So you have to justify, you have to explain what are the attributes of pondan. So the attributes of pondan or not pondan, apa Zenriun nanti kau tolong explain kat dia pondan apa benda, penat aku, adalah part of the essentialism because of the essence. Essence tu kau boleh cakap lah macam kau cakap, oh yang ni ada essence bau ni, essence benda, essence lemon, essence apa benda, benda otak aku dah jam dah, aku pening dengan korang tiba essentialism and education. Betul, there is apa tu, there is a study, a proposition in education system that we should use essentialism to be an essentialist dalam education curriculum design. Betul, tapi not in this class. Dalam kelas pedagogi dengan Nabila boleh lah, bukan dalam kelas aku. Alamak, penat aku lah. Apa pula tu? Cuba kau datang sini bawa nasi kandar ke apa. Happy juga aku. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you moderator. Tak ada soalan, aku sakit jiwa. We have come to an end of our class, which is partly apa nak cakap, exhilarating ataupun nak kata frustrating pun ada, nak kata apa macam-macam perasaan, macam-macam aku rasa sebab aku puasa. Nak marah pun tak boleh, marah pun tak guna, kau online dengan aku, kau tutup je speaker kalau aku maki hamun, apa aku dapat? Penat, haus, nak minum pun tak boleh. Tapi basically I hope, not just hope, I pray to my God. If we happen to have the same God, I pray to our God that you will conduct extra readings, reading extension from whatever that we have discussed or whatever that you have presented today. Because this is not just for today, this is for the rest of your life. For example, in understanding about life. Just now we have someone explaining about reality. Siapa? Madregal put about reality. So what is reality in life? The reality in life is that we were born, we live now, maybe we die after. Not maybe. We will die, definitely die after this. Maybe not now, but maybe tomorrow, maybe next month. But we will definitely sure we will die. That's the reality in life. But what happens after we die? Is there any afterlife? For some people who believe in their own religious teaching, there is afterlife. For some, there is no afterlife. You vanish. For some, there is reincarnation. Apa benda reincarnation? Tahu tak? Tulislah Google. Kimak. Tak aku. Segala bahasa pelik-pelik dah aku sebut dalam kelas ni. So, you have encountered, you have found, you have seen a lot of new terminologies today. I hope and I pray you write it down, and you keep on going, keep on searching, make further reading, do further readings on that, so that you will strengthen your knowledge. We all lecturers here, we cannot teach you everything now. We introduce you to the knowledge. For the knowledge to be able to be absorbed by you and to be for yourself to to apply those knowledge in your teaching, in everyday life, in your writing, in whatever not. It's your job, not us. I introduce you to these concepts and theories, and then you decide whether you want to know more about the theories or just about it. Faham? So we have one person today that was rejected, unfortunately. Siapa tu? Syahrein. You will be presenting next coming class. So next week we don't have class. We cuti hari raya, and I hope the rest of you who will be presenting after cuti hari raya, you will do better lah. Boleh. And then don't give fake questions lah. Fake questions itu tak apa lah. Aku dah plan dah question. Kau ingat aku you think this is my first day in life? You think you see me as an idiot who don't understand people who are acting, people who knows about something, people who are bluffing. I know lah. But fortunately, God give lah. God give me apa tu passion to teach. God give me love lah. Because I love my students, I still give marks. Never mind. I don't blame you. At least you show some efforts, but uh, try to challenge yourself and challenge your friends into giving difficult questions. Don't give difficult words and then they don't understand the words. Give difficult questions. Like, what are the connection between this and that? Can you differentiate between this and that? And bagi simple question, what is the definition of alamak? And then when you answer the question, the definition of this is that you read from your notes. I hate that. I expect you to explain using your own words. Like myself, I explain everything using my own words. I don't read from Wikipedia. I can read right now. I can Google from any concept from Wikipedia. I can read for you lah. You want me to read for you ah? Come, I read for you lah. Essentialism, guys. You know what? Essentialism is the view that objects have a set of attributes that are necessary to their identity. In early Western thought, Plato's idealism held that all things have such an essence, an idea or form. In categories, Aristotle similar. Can you understand any of that? Bullshit. No one can understand that. I don't read in class. I explain using my own words. I may be wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong lah, but all the time I'm not. Sometimes I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm human. That's the reality of learning. You will make mistakes. Reality lagi. Identity lah, apalah, ada pening kepala aku. Ranziun, I'm sorry if I speak in Malay, but I think you get the gist of whatever that I spoke. Okay, we are over the time given. Selamat cuti hari raya. For those who are celebrating, selamat hari raya. And siapa yang cuti, please stay tuned in our WhatsApp group. I will give you assignments number 2, I guess. Number 2 or number 3, which you are supposed to be given apa tu? Sekejap let me check. You were supposed to be given case study kan, for assignment number 2. I will give you case study, and then you will discuss about your case in class for the next presentation. Okay, any question? Macam biasa tak ada question. I expect that. Don't worry. Aku faham. Aku ni malaikat. Tahu dah apa pun nak buat. Dah tertulis dah dalam kau punya buku catatan harian sampai ke hari kiamat. Memang tak ada soalan. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you everyone. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to text me anytime. Okay. Itu saja. Itu saja. No, no, not yet. For those who are presenting today, submit your presentation in my guru boleh? Kecuali Syahrin lah, Syahrin. Okay. Okay, itu saja.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Selamat
you.
Hari Raya.
Bye. Selamat Hari Raya. Kalau ada announcement,
Thank you, sir.
I buat announcement dalam WhatsApp group lah. Mungkin ada I terlupa sebab I tengok lapar sangat. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Selamat Hari Raya.
Thank you, sir.
Kau bagi aku duit raya lah sekian kau.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir.
Kenapa kau?
Kita ada apa tu? Sorry, I'm